Yo, you this little Maul, you listen to Maul in the District, and today we're getting into the Pride of Ego segment. Man, this is one that I definitely feel like I got 100%. I've been through 100%. I deal with 100%. I'm a very, very prideful person. Not so much ego as I get older. You know what I'm saying? I kind of drop my ego. I kind of learned that, you know, the ego can do more harm than good, but sometimes you need that little bit of ego just to show people like, hey, in certain instances you got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So, even though that's not a positive thing to look at it as, but sometimes you need that ego, like Ho said. Sometimes you need that ego. Gotta remind these fools who they fucking with. We got effings too, yeah. But pride and ego. Anybody that know me personally, they know that I'm a prideful guy. I take pride in what I do. I take pride in work I put in. I take pride in the person I am. I take pride in the giver I am. But pride do have some very negative connotations to it. I seen people be too prideful. I seen people can't put their pride in the side, so it causes them to lose out on opportunities, lose out on situations, lose out on people. And I'm one of them people. I won't say I let my pride get in the way. I let my ego get in the way, or used to let my ego get in the way in a sense. And I lost some of the most important people, not important people, but I lost some situations I cared about the most because of my ego. Sometimes that ego, it's like someone says something to you, you don't really see it from their point of view, or you don't really hear it from their point of view. You just worrying about how your ego feel, or how you feel, or how do you feel disrespected by someone, saying their opinion on you, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like my ego definitely had me miss out on a lot of good opportunities, and a lot of good situations with a lot of great people. So that's something I learned from as I got older, that not everything is negative, and sometimes people, tell you things to help you and not hurt you, but your ego just running wild. If you're, and men deal with this more, if not mainly, if your ego just running wild, then can't nobody tell you anything. You just caught up on who you are, and it's not so much. Some people don't look at it as a bad thing, because some people look at it as, knowing their worth, but it's a great difference, because that ego, like, at least for me, like, it got to the point where no one couldn't tell me nothing about myself, or no one couldn't tell me nothing, because I look at it like I'm not harming nobody. I just believe in myself. I just got 100% confidence, but the whole time it's an ego that's developing within me. So that's something I definitely relate to. It's a definitely big difference between both pride and ego. They kind of, a lot of people put them super similar to each other, and they are. They're somewhat in the same umbrella, but it's a huge difference between both of them. Ego is rather selfish. It's rather often based in the fact that, it's about you. It's about everything that you think and what you think is true and how you feel. And it's just this thing that's just caught up within yourself, rather than pride. Pride could tend to be, less selfish and more typically based on facts and achievements, and just being proud of something. Sometimes we got pride because we proud of things we do. Like we proud of how far we came. So that develops pride within a person. That is like, like, it's not like, oh, hey, look, I'm the shit. It's just more so like, I'm confident, I believe in myself, and I'm proud, and I have pride in what I do. I take pride in who I am. I take pride in what I do for my people. I take pride in, things I accomplished, things I've learned, places, just the whole boat, you know what I'm saying? And it's key difference about both of them. And it just, I feel like I dealt with a lot, and I've been through a lot of my hardest times and things I had to learn about myself due to my ego. It's something that I think a lot of men deal with, especially men that come from where I come from. And I think this is a segment that we could just talk about, because a lot of people, they too pride, they got pride, so they too proudful to talk about. And it's just like, hey, sometimes we're wrong. Sometimes we get caught up in our own emotions. We get caught up in our own head. We get caught up in, just thinking we're right all the time. And sometimes we don't hear things from the other side of the world. We don't hear things from others because we're caught up in our head so much. So yeah, that's really a huge issue we deal with amongst men. And I'm going to just touch on that, but I'm about to play a record real quick just to get into some music. This is Lil Maul. You listen to Maul in the District, man. We turned up, man. We locked in. Let's get it, dog.
I ain't going nowhere. I'm dwelling in the house of the Lord.
Actually, I'm going to switch this record. I'm going to play this. I'm going to switch that too. I'm going to play this. This for all the pride people and for the ego, man. Straight up.
gotta fuck you good just to show you that I love you. I can tell you down, so I let you meet my mother. You don't fuck with goofy niggas, you don't fuck with suckers. Ever since I met you, girl, I don't fuck with nothing. Them niggas ain't my homies, no, them niggas ain't my brothers. Give your ass the world before I ever see you struggle. I got these bitches jealous cause they saying that I cuffed you. I got these niggas mad cause I know these niggas want you. And you don't need no nigga out here to push you in your bag. Real independent bitch ain't living on the gram. Am I the only one that hit that? That's all I ask. Got your own money, baby, you don't need a man. Girl, your personality bring out another side of me. She say I don't need drugs cause nothing get you high as me. You got your own style, you even think you more fly than me. And when I drop my album, you the first one say you proud of me. This is heaven, I swear it gotta be. Say the only thing I ask is never lie to me. Put a baby in you so you can make another me. As long as you fuck with me, I don't care who fuck with me. I gotta fuck you good just to show you that I love you. I can tell you down, so I let you meet my mother. You don't fuck with goofy niggas, you don't fuck with suckers. Ever since I met you, girl, I don't fuck with nothing. Them niggas ain't my homies, no, them niggas ain't my brothers. Give your ass the world before I ever see you struggle. Got these bitches jealous cause they saying that I cuff you. Got these niggas mad cause I know these niggas want you. I can't keep this a secret. When I'm in the studio, only time I'm seeing you. Pull up on the late night while I'm sleeping. The way you ride this dick, baby girl, is so intriguing. I just wanna please you. Even if I leave this earth, I would never leave you. Keep my distance from these hoes, cause I just wanna keep you. That pussy like a weapon, baby girl, I swear it's lethal. Gotta put my pride to the side so we can run the whole line. I never felt love like this. I never felt love like this. Your body get me high. I never felt a drug like this.
Yo. Let's speak on ways to just overcome your pride. Sometimes I feel like we need to listen. We people that think that's caught up in their pride and caught up in who they are. Sometimes we got to tend to talk too much. We got to tend to think we know it all. To tend to try to fix everything. Sometimes we need to just shut up and just listen. Just be quiet. Be open ear. See points of view. See different angles. It's not always about how we think. So just listen. You don't always got to talk. Another thing is just ask the right questions. Be open minded. Don't be so caught up in your own world, as I said over and over again. Just don't be caught up in your own world. And for me, big ways I deal with my pride and my ego, because I feel like pride and ego comes with a little bit of anger as well, at least for my instance, you know what I'm saying? Because once somebody feel like they hurt your pride, they hurt your ego, what comes out? Anger. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, the ego was showing, was frustrating you, and it's saying, oh, you had the audacity to play with me, you had the audacity to do this, or it's all ego talking. So if you deal with pride and ego and that causes anger, I feel like ways to control that is just wait, give yourself time for yourself to calm down, give yourself time to just understand things. Don't always react in that moment. And just that information in itself can save your life in so many different ways, because there's people out here that retaliate because they pride in their ego and they go do some shit now and they find themselves locked away for the rest of their life, or they find themselves lost everything, or they find themselves setting themselves back years, so just wait, give yourself time. Another big way I got rid of my ego was just meditation. Taking time to sit down and just get my mind together. It's hard for a lot of people to just sit down and even believe that meditation even work. It's hard for us to just be still and try something like that. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. But it helps. It helps calm the mind. It helps wrap your thoughts. It helps you just get a grasp of yourself. And it's a good way to start your day, in your day. If I'm just being honest. Creative arts, you could deal with your ego and your pride by just being, and creative arts is something that you're good at. Like, so whether you're an artist or, whatever you want to do, I feel like you take pride into that, but that also helps you control your ego and your pride, because you're so focused on, you're so wrapped on in your own thing. So that's just a good way, just having yourself a schedule. As I said in the last segment, just have yourself a schedule and have yourself just focused, so you don't have to deal with a lot of your emotions and a lot of stuff you deal with. Try to understand yourself, heal yourself rather than punish yourself. That's a good way to understand pride and ego. Why do I have this so much ego? Why do I have this so much pride? Why am I so much of a prideful person? Why do I feel people are playing with me when they just trying to tell me what's best for me? You know what I'm saying? So understand yourself, being able to look yourself in the mirror and know your issues is definitely important in all aspects of what you go through. Choose your friends wisely. That's something I wrote down. That's something big, man. Because a lot of us, we develop shit based off who we around, and as much cliche and simple as that sound, it definitely comes in effect when it comes to pride and ego, because a lot of people be having egos off shoulders they rub, and people they're around, it's just like, hey, you know, it's cool for you to figure yourself out and be an individual and still be around certain people, you know. So choose your friends wisely. I definitely can relate to, and I definitely suggest resist the urge to be curious. You know, that controls a lot. You know, sometimes when people talk to you and come at you or whatever the case may be, don't all, you know, be curious about it, be open about it. As I said before, don't seek reasons to feel like your ego is being tested. Don't seek reasons to be angry. Don't look at everything like, oh, this is a reason for me to, you know, show how prideful I am, how much ego I have, how much balls I have. You know, sometimes you just gotta resist that urge. It's nothing but an urge. It's nothing but, you know, us feeling like we're being pushed and not being able to control ourselves. So resist the urge to be curious in a lot of instance. Just in a lot of ways, I help myself realize my pride and ego, because I feel like my pride come from definitely from who I am as a person, things I've been through. But I think my ego come from me, or my ego had came from me just being a lot full of myself, and a lot of that comes from upbringing. And so just understand, give yourself time to reflect on how you grew up, how you came up, who was you around. Give yourself time to transition from who you are into who you want to be, because that's a big important thing. Sometimes we carry on this how can I say this? Sometimes we carry on this perception of ourselves that's so old, and it's just like we not that no more. You know what I'm saying? Not saying you not lit or you not that guy or you not your best self. Sometimes we gotta understand we're transitioning from a egotistic kid or teen or young adult into a man or a woman. So, you know, give yourself time to reflect on where you came from, how far you came, and where you're going, and give yourself time to understand you got ways to change about yourself. And that's really my best say on pride and ego, at least from my instance. Just be open minded, like just being able to do the work, as I say in every episode, being able to do the work, do the fucking work. You know, pride and ego could be very toxic, or it could be very good in some instances as far as like your motivation and pushing yourself and believing in yourself. But it could be very toxic when it get into the phase of, oh, can't no one tell me nothing, oh, can't no one test me, or can't no one play with me, or can't no one, et cetera, et cetera. So we just gotta be very aware, and especially as we get older, a lot of different emotions and a lot of different things happen to all of us, you know, as we get older. So we just gotta be aware and give ourselves time to grow and time to just be aware of what we got going on. Ego is not always self-respect. You know, it can lose our sense of ourself if we think that we're always this person, or we're always wrapped up in ourself and what we got going on. We could lose sense of who we are. We could lose sense of, you know, just self. If you really got self-respect for yourself, then you're gonna know sometimes you're not always right. You're gonna know sometimes you're wrong. You're gonna know sometimes, hey man, it's my pride in the way. That's my ego in the way. Sometimes I am wrong. Hey man, it is my fault. Oh hey man, I do hear you. You know, so just give yourself enough self-respect to be told or be talked to about shit you don't even see because you're the one dishing it out. I wish I can go more in depth. I got a lot going on right now, so I just wanted to make this segment as quick and as forward as possible. And it's just, you know, I'm gonna keep touching on topics that I think I went through personally, so I could be well prepared to talk about, because I don't want to speak on anything that I don't really relate to. Now, if someone wants to come on here and talk about things that, you know, are much different from what I've been through or my point of view, then feel free. Yeah, all you gotta do is just hit me up. You know, I'm looking to get more guests and shit, so I want to talk about all these things that we go through as people. You know, this ain't the podcast for like relationships and the norm. You know, we really dealing with shit. We really handling shit, and we really want to just speak on things that I think everyone need to talk about. So, hopefully this was some pointers and some tips for some people. And if it wasn't, you can expect much more different topics to be coming soon and coming forward. And I just hope that we all give ourselves time to grow. And it took me a long time to drop a lot of my pride and a lot of my ego. And I don't feel less about myself. I don't feel, you know, bad about myself. I actually feel more good, because sometimes that thing, that pride and that ego, that shit, it chain you up. Like, you know, it just, you know, It just you gotta let it go, you know. And I just want to give that advice to everybody. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Understand you can't be told what to do. You can't be talked to without yourself as a man or as a woman or whoever not feeling like your ego and your pride hurt. You know, we all adults here, so we all healing. So this is Lil Maul. You listen to Lamar in the District, and I'll be on the next episode. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about next, honestly. I feel like I'm covering a lot of things. I'm ready to get started on season 2. Season 2 is when I'm really gonna have a guest every single time, and it's gonna be way more upbeat. I feel like this being my first podcast and my first season, I just wanted to touch on real shit and just give my aspect of how I feel about things. So season 2 is definitely getting worked on, but we still got a long ways to go. And next episode maybe something we don't expect. It may be a different vibe we gonna see. You know, but this Lil Maul, you listen to Maul in the District, and hopefully y'all got some gems out of this. See y'all in the next one, man. Appreciate all the listeners, all my niggas that tune in, all my niggas that ask me what's the links, all the people that hit me up and give me the feedback, man. I appreciate it. I really do. This wasn't planned. This is something I just wanted to do because it was on my heart, you know. So appreciate you all. I'll see you in the next one. Straight up.